I'm using this space right now to talk about using your time to use your superpowers, to tap into it. My name is Rhonda Liebig, and I'm the host, founder, creator, producer of Fresh Talks Global Vision. Every Friday I try and get here and talk about hashtag Truth Friday, and this is supporting our overall compass of hashtag Speaker Locking Arms. We are here together to open our voice and stop the blaming and shaming that probably comes, within ourselves. There's just ways in our brain that we want to hash and hack and redo new pathways into our brain so that we feel that we are in alignment every day. I find that this mindset stuff has changed my world, and I'll share a story with you. Actually, there's two. But first, let's talk more about what this means by, like time management. But it's not just a typical time management conversation, because that just sounds so boring. But the feeling that you know what your biggest goal is, or goals, and you know that you only have so much time, and you can choose to do something that really doesn't serve it. And that would happen if you're in a mind where you're just feeling stressed, overwhelmed. You let your stress get to you. And I'm saying that you let your stress get to you, but you're not really stepping into the strategies that can help you get deeper and deeper to clear the mind. And it's scary when you're not fully connected with, like, what does that mean? Is that really going to help me? If I do this practice, am I really going to get what I want? And the chaos can happen. I hope here I get to hold a little bit of space to have this conversation, to start thinking about, what does that look like? So this Friday, right now, if we start looking at our time and the package that we have of what we want, for me, my top things right now is to be in the tip-top shape that I maybe I've never been, but I mean, I've had times where I was in really good shape because from 14 to now, I've worked out all my life. But I'm at that point now where my body and my system is starting to move in a way that it hasn't in years. So I want to share that with you because I wanted to connect with what your purpose is when you think about your physicality. And I used to think about physicality on the exterior. And that was all like, how do I look? Can I show up? Can I wear this? Can I wear that? Oh, I can't wear that because I gained a few pounds. And it was all about the exterior. Now it's about being able to discover who I am and seeing the blotches on my skin and the thing that's happening as we age, and being able to see the beauty of what I'm creating. A question for you: what is the beauty that you're creating? You may not even know it now because maybe you are in a deep shame of yourself. Maybe it is hard to, be on video. Maybe it is hard to be present because you're so concerned about aging or concerned about what your body looks like. I'll tell you real quick, when I stopped taking medicine after I was taking medicine for 20 years, and I'm not telling you to get off of medicine, but the power of doing that changed my life to where I really got to start knowing myself, start listening to my fears, start breaking through. And the reason why I did it was because the medicine was there for me every day. But, medicine also has another side to it that's really hard on the body. So when I decided to step into taking care of myself in a different way, which means more meditation, knowing that if I didn't slow down, or I didn't do body movement, or if I didn't get in alignment with my food, or if I didn't get in alignment with my mindset, that I would have rushing energy like through my arms and, or my chest would hurt or whatever, because without taking thyroid medicine, your body can do so many crazy things. Well, those crazy things were happening. But what I decided to do is think about my time and what I can do to max out that I'm trying to get back to myself. So when I really wasn't in alignment, I would eat something and I'd go, well, it's just one thing. It's not really going to matter. And almost every meal I would approach it that way. I'm a health coach, but I was in my mind trying to understand how to manage myself emotionally. And I did that since I don't know when it really started, but I was addicted to sugar. Anybody else? because sugar numbed me. And I would eat a lot of sugar and then it would just go whoop and drop me. And then I'd go take a nap. That was in my teenage years. Or I would later in life eat something just to numb myself enough so I could be productive in my mind, shut down, and just be able to focus on what I needed to. Or I was so hazy, I couldn't even focus on that because I did the drug wrong, which was the food, the drug, the food of choice. The food was my drug of choice. Think about what you're doing with your food when it comes to time management. What are the things that are going to serve your body? What are the things, and I'm talking to somebody that's been in the health industry for 25 years. What do you want to do? What would your life look like that you can imagine right now? What is your truth in this Truth Friday? What are you yearning for? What are you tired of? I'm almost ready to tell you another story about climbing up Mount Rainier and going down Mount Rainier. I want to hold the space for you for a moment here, though. Right now, you don't even know what your future can look like if you just start on those steps of managing what you know, the connectedness with your goals and your role of what you want to do, the role you want to do, what you want to create. How much of a leadership role do you want? Are you afraid of being a leader? We are all leaders, but a lot of us are afraid of even that word. But if we back down from being leadership, that means we're not connecting with our higher power. That means we are blaming and shaming ourselves, telling ourselves we can't step forward because we have to be behind somebody because maybe we believe we can't do it, that we don't have the power, that we feel scared, anxious because we're stepping into a role that's bigger where there's a lot more vulnerability. But what if your vulnerability was your biggest superpower? People who don't understand this will think that you're weak because they'll see you vulnerable. They'll see you opening your heart. They'll see you thinking in more of a deeper way of thinking, and you not being afraid of saying what you're going to say, but you're going to say it in a heartfelt way. And a lot of people may think you're weak. You are the strongest being. That's the next person, the next person, the next person. But right now it's your time. And if it's your time, then breathe it in, accept it. That's the first thing. But then you go, what do I do with all that? It's about doing those strategies that help you move forward. So I think I'm ready for my story now. All these years, I've been off medicine over 10 years, probably going towards 15, a little bit less than that. And through that process, I had to really start thinking differently. I had to get softer. And there were a lot of people around me that were really, really upset with me. And I understood it. And I was like, I don't know what else to do. I just know that this feels like the right thing. I'm a health coach. I'm not stepping into things. I'm not learning about myself except just research, but I don't feel it because I'm hiding from myself. So my body got almost crippled. There were times it was even hard for me to walk. And then when I'd walk, it would be like a real stomp, stomp, stomp because I could barely even walk. So I even think perhaps maybe my walking was almost taken from me. I'd wake up in the middle of the night and things would just surge through my arms like my heart. It's like all of a sudden my heart was like whoosh, and hormones and all these different things that were just way out of balance. Again, I wouldn't tell you to do this, but this is my journey so that I got to get in deeper with my energy activation that I do with my group that I do health coaching with, and also business too. I could barely walk at points. So let's say 10 years later, as I'm building and building and building and I'm looking at my workouts now because I'm connected with my goals, because I know what my intention is. I even promised my son, I want to go visit you. I want to go for a hike because my body will be ready for it, because I'm going to work out extra and I'm going to focus in on my food and focus in on my sleep. And I'm still going to talk about Mount Rainier, but I realized this morning, this last month is my first month that I could wake up and not have these mean battling things going on of anxiety in my body when I would wake up. What is it for you that stops you from stepping in and really connecting with your biggest goal? If you can do that, then you're going to break through all that management of anxiety. So I'd wake up every night and I'd be so freaked out, and I'd like get on my phone, which is like, the worst way to be sleeping. And when earlier years, I'd have the TV on, and my husband had to deal with that part of it. So I'd put my phone, and then all of a sudden I could feel my adrenaline going and like my cortisol, and I just started gaining more and more weight. And I was in so much stress. When I'd wake up in the middle of the night, I'd try and run away from everything. Now I can wake up in the middle of the night and just be with it. Hi, Kathleen. Please tell me if you have anything to add here with some of the fears or some of the struggles or some of the, the celebrations you want to add in. So this is the month where I've been able to wake up and, maybe I'm sleeping for a couple hours and my body wakes up, that I get to reset myself and go right back to sleep. And my sleeping pattern is getting better than it ever has in my life. But this is the first month that I have not been anxiety driven. So now I have my phone in the other room. I'm sleeping in a better way. I look much better. I don't have as much inflammation. So this is where I'm going to finish off the Mount Rainier conversation, is that I started up the mountain with my husband and my son's beautiful girlfriend. And we're going up, and it's a better hike than I've ever done. Stop, take a deep breath, because you're going like 1,700, feet of elevation from at the base. And I'm talking to my hubby, and I go, oh my gosh, like, I remember I would not even be able to go that far. I'm so proud of myself. And I gave him a hug, and I just felt so good. And I just stopped, and I just kind of did like a breathing exercise. And there was a point where I was like, I'm just going to tell them to move forward. I can't do this. And that's that breaking point, Burp. And all of a sudden I was like, no, you're going to do this. You're going to do it. So we get all the way up the mountain. There's this big view. Stop, different places. And these big, beautiful views. And I'm just like, oh my gosh, I made it up here. And then I remember that it's my best friend's birthday, Anna. And I start speaking it to myself and going, Anna, I love you so much. I love all the support you gave me before you passed on. You are such a superpower. And just start talking to her. My body just was like, woo. And my mind said, it's time to run. So we start going down the mountain. And before, going down a mountain would be 1 foot down. Oh my gosh, am I going to slide? Oh my gosh, I'm on a rock. Is it going to move? Because I lost my ability to balance. Anybody else lose your ability to balance? So then I keep running. I have no idea what's going to happen, but I know that I am ready to rock. So I run, and I know exactly where my foot's going to go. I see all this loose gravel. Nope, don't step there. And my mind knows exactly where to stop and start and run and don't stop running. And I felt like I could run all the way down the mountain, but I didn't know because I wanted to stop and make sure I met up with Jeff and Miley. And I wanted to be with them also. And they were walking just like everybody else. They were with everybody else. They weren't behind, but I was running. I have not done that. I used to run down stairs, like, stairs that were just regular stairs. And I would just double it. And then I would, single and then double. Like I felt like I was flying, and any step could be wrong where I'm in between step, and I would still always know where my footing was. That's how it felt when I was running down Mount Rainier. So I accomplished something that I didn't even know I was actually getting to, except my day-to-day really getting into the connection of my goals and where I was going to go with that. And so I think about this. What do you need to do to look at your biggest goal, your highest level of what you see yourself in life? And what are the things that you can do strategy-wise to make sure that you get there? And when you start moving, you're not going to know what's going to happen, because for me, I ran down Mount Rainier and I do stops, but I felt like I could go forever. If I was by myself, I don't know what would have stopped me, because I was starting to get tired, like in my hips and my ankles, but I didn't even care because my body felt so light. What is your goal that you want to do that you go, oh my gosh, I used to do that 10 years ago, or I used to do it last year, but I feel like it left me. Put it on a piece of paper. Tell yourself, good morning, Dodie, nice to see you, love you. Find out what you want to do day to day. And not just that you're doing it because it's not a task list, but more that you're doing it because you are really connected. And the more that you get connected, the more you'll realize how much you can love on yourself. Because we keep tearing ourselves up because we're not meeting our goals, or we think that we are what we are right now. But what if we realize that we aren't what our brain tells us? Our brain only knows what it knows. It only knows the history. But what if we move forward and we just say, I'm going to put everything that I can in the love for me. Nobody on the outside can hurt me. I need to figure out how to love on myself more so that nobody triggers me. And that is such a big goal. But our mind only knows our past. So if we utilize our time, and we know that these strategies are going to get us somewhere, and it might be the goal that you see, but you may not even know what the goal is. Because when I was running down Mount Rainier last weekend, I didn't know that was my goal, but it reminded me so much about who I really am. And I can't stop being myself. That means when I was a baby, the freedom, the safety I felt, the love I felt, I feel all of that right now. But the people that are around me can't give that to me. They can, but I have to love myself first before I can receive it. Because I didn't know how to do that. People tell me they love me, but I could let it only go in so far. And I wanted to keep my distance from everybody. Think about what you're doing right now for yourself, but let's help you move forward. If you want to connect, RhondaLiebig.com/tree, TREE. This is what we're talking about. I have a movement that I believe that we can stop the blaming and shaming on ourselves and in this world just by motivational conversation, but more about coming together as a community to talk about how we can see each other, learn to love on ourselves more, and understand what that really means. This is the only way we're going to survive. This is the only way I survived off of medicine. Because I had so many big repercussions from not being on medicine. And I said, what is going on? But I knew that I was allowing people around me to tell me who I was. I thought I was a loser. I thought that I was fat. I thought that I didn't deserve much. I thought that what somebody would say to me, that it actually was me because they were insightful, because they were seeing something. But what they saw was the hurt person. They just wanted to hurt that person because they were mad because the person was acting as if they were hurt. But why can't we give love to people that are in hurt? Why? Now we do need to ask our people around us to make sure that they do their work, because it can be hard when you're around people that are struggling. But if you do this work, if you manage your time, that you go, I'm going to do this, this, and this, and all I can see is this bigger goal, but it has to be a mental goal, of course a physical goal, of course about eating also, but your mental space, don't let people break you down, because nobody can affect you if you find this, your temple, your love. And I've had people around me for years that were just not maybe my biggest fan, but I thought that they were, because I was like, how could this person or that person that's been in my life for years do this. And I realized it's because I believed that I deserved it. And when I started realizing the more and more this was happening, this is where it comes to Truth Friday. I love you so much. Think about these stories. Think about moving forward. Think about the joy you can have in your life when you connect. These are the conversations we're having every Friday. It means a lot to me. It's helping me feel spacious, feel open, feel love, have better conversation, but know that nobody can mess with my mind anymore. Nobody can break me. And I had too many people that were maybe trying to, because they were tired of the way I was showing up. And I said, what does that mean? I said, well, maybe I'm tired of the way I'm showing up. So I'm allowing people to do that. Don't let people do that. Find your inner strength. Know that everything is okay. And don't be a victim. I was a victim so many times, and I go, that's not helping me. That's actually freaking scaring me. Anytime you feel scared, it's not okay. But be careful how you treat the people around you. Know that it really is a reflection of you, and that you want to speak up and share what you need. I love you. Truth Friday. Connect with me. Let's do some great work together. You can get in the free stuff. I want you to even be in speaker locking arms in our community, because we're going to start doing, I have a board members, and we're talking about this humanitarian experience. Let's try and help others, but let's first help ourselves, because we can't be strong enough to help others if we don't have a strong base. Motivational stuff's important, being in the right community, knowing that people are there to love you, even on your weak points, that they are there to love you. Dodie, thank you. Much love and prayers to you too. Namaste.